I can't wait when me and my son just go visit your grave one day. You feel me? Cause that's what you trying to do right now while we living our lives separate, whatever, from the chaos. Yo, ass wanna kill us.
The internet didn't just wake up to drama today. It woke up to a full-blown cinematic emergency. Karlissa didn't give warnings, didn't write subliminals, didn't even stretch before the chaos. She went straight to the cops like she had a season finale to film. And when that news hit the timeline, people didn't just gasp, they malfunctioned. Phones froze. Comments exploded. Screenshots flew across group chats like digital shrapnel. It was the kind of plot twist that makes Chriseans look like they're running a daycare. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared the internet for Ronnie's entrance. This man slid into the story like a villain reveal, holding receipts thicker than Blueface's legal folder. He didn't ease into it. He dumped everything like he'd been waiting for this dramatic season arc his whole life. Audio leaks, messages, timestamps, threats. It was giving detective energy, messy passion, and chaotic precision all in one. Viewers didn't know whether to scream, refresh, or grab popcorn. And the moment Chrisean Rock saw Karlissa calling the cops, so Ronnie exposing screenshots, saw the world turning against her. She didn't clap back. She didn't attack. She didn't argue her innocence. She ran, vanished like she'd been evicted from her own storyline. Gone before the comments could load. The entire story erupted the moment Karlissa stepped into that police station with the confidence of a woman who had finally reached her villain origin moment. She didn't sneak. She didn't hesitate. She walked in with her chin high, shoulders back, and attitude louder than her Instagram lives. And when people realized she actually contacted the cops about Chrisean, the internet didn't just react, it convulsed. Fans said they felt the earth shake. Others said they dropped their phones. A few even claimed they were praying for Junior like something biblical had begun. No one knew the full story yet, but everyone knew the drama was premium. The rumors spread faster than wildfire. Screenshots began circulating of Karlissa telling people, "I'm done protecting her." People reposted her words like gospel. They zoomed into her expressions. They analyzed the way she typed. It felt like a crime documentary unfolding frame by frame. And before anyone could even digest the first bombshell, Ronnie entered the chat with a vengeance. This man didn't wait for permission. He didn't wait for a cue. He started dropping proof like confetti at a chaotic parade, and suddenly the entire internet shifted from shock to pure hysteria. Ronnie's screenshots were wild. They weren't vague messages or random rumors. They were loud, detailed, and shockingly personal. They showed conversations that hinted at hiding things, arguments about Junior, and messages that implied something darker was behind the scenes. The public didn't know what to believe, but the receipts looked too polished to be edited by a beginner. And social media, it exploded. People said Ronnie had FBI-level screenshots. Others joked he needed a clearance badge. Even his haters had to admit the man came prepared. Meanwhile, Blueface stayed suspiciously silent, and the internet treated his silence like a confession. Fans said he must have known Karlissa contacted the cops because he was posting nothing but vague quotes. He wasn't joking. He wasn't trolling. He wasn't even being petty. He was simply offline. And for Blueface, the king of unnecessary commentary, that silence was deafening. People dragged him anyway, saying he abandoned Chrisean the moment things got serious. Others accused him of letting Karlissa handle the dirty work. The theories were messy, aggressive, and endless. Chrisean's reaction was the biggest twist of all. Everyone expected her to go live, scream, throw shade, or threaten someone. But instead, she disappeared, gone, silent, vanished off the internet like someone unplugged her Wi-Fi mid-rant. Fans were stunned. Where is she? Why is she quiet? Is she hiding? People scrolled through her pages harder than detectives searching for clues. But all they found were old selfies and stale posts. No updates. No explanations. No meltdown. And that silence made everything worse because silence sparks paranoia faster than evidence. While Chrisean hid, Karlissa went on a victory lap. She posted inspirational quotes, Bible verses, and passive-aggressive lines like truth wins every time. It was messy and hilarious. And fans couldn't decide if she was giving concerned grandmother or villain with a microphone. Meanwhile, Ronnie doubled down, posting more screenshots that showed disputes over JR's care. These weren't random accusations, they were detailed exchanges. People said the energy felt calculated, not to be real. As the screenshots spread, influencers jumped into the chaos like birds flocking to free crumbs. They made dramatic videos titled "The Truth About Junior" or "Ronnie Finally Speaks." They narrated every screenshot, added spooky background music, and exaggerated expressions like they were auditioning for reality TV. Audiences were hypnotized. Views skyrocketed. Comments turned into battlegrounds. Everyone suddenly had an opinion, even people who had no idea who Karlissa and Ronnie were. The scandal had gone mainstream. The worst part was how fast people turned against Chrisean. Old clips resurfaced, moments where she yelled, moments where she acted erotically, moments where she looked overwhelmed holding Junior. None of these videos proved anything, but the internet twisted them like clay until they fit the narrative. Comments called her unstable. Others said she needed help. Many accused her immediately, ignoring the fact that they hadn't seen the real evidence. It was emotional chaos disguised as analysis. Then a random rumor started spreading that officials were looking into the situation, even though no credible source confirmed it. But in the world of social media, rumors become truth the moment they're repeated enough. People said the cops were investigating. Others claimed Junior was safe with family. These weren't facts, they were wishes. But they shaped the public's perception anyway. And Karlissa, she didn't deny or correct anything. Her silence was more suspicious than her words. Ronnie decided to push the narrative even further. He posted a cryptic message saying, "When I said what I said, I meant it. No context, no explanation." But it was enough to send fans into another frenzy. They speculated that he had even more receipts. They begged him to release everything. They tagged him under every post about Chrisean. It became a witch hunt fueled by screenshots and assumptions. People were ready for more scandal, even if it meant dragging real lives into a circus. Through all this, the saddest element was Junior being pulled into the tornado. A baby, just a baby, it became the center of a social media war. Strangers discussed his health. Analysts studied his behavior. Fans debated custody like they were in a courtroom. It was disturbing, but the internet was too entertained to step back. JR became a storyline instead of a child, and that realization hit only a few people deeply enough to express concern. By the end of the day, the scandal had transformed from simple accusations to an online avalanche. Reputations were damaged, emotions were high, and Chrisean's mysterious disappearance made everything feel darker. People wondered where she went, why she was hiding, and what she was planning next. Because if there's one thing everyone knows, a silent Chrisean is never a good sign. It means pressure is building. It means something is coming. The internet wasn't ready for the next twist, and neither were the people involved. The rumor didn't slow down. It mutated like drama on steroids. By the next morning, every platform was vibrating with new theories, fake experts, dramatic narrations, and people acting like they personally witnessed Karlissa calling the cops. Twitter was on fire. TikTok was having a collective panic attack. Instagram turned into a courtroom with no judge, no jury, and absolutely no logic. Everyone had a different story, and somehow they were all wrong. But facts don't matter when chaos tastes this good. The biggest twist came when Karlissa started posting those cryptic, Bible-infused quotes again. "No weapon formed shall prosper," she wrote, followed by a selfie looking like she just exposed a global conspiracy. Fans lost it. They decoded her captions like prophecy, convinced she was hinting at something bigger. Some said she had more evidence. Others said she was preparing statements. A few said she was protecting the legacy. Nobody knew what legacy they were talking about, but it sounded dramatic enough to go viral. Influencers took the mess and ran with it like track stars. They uploaded 10-minute breakdowns pretending to be investigative journalists, complete with dramatic background music and zoom-ins on Karlissa's eyebrows. They paused every screenshot Ronnie posted, adding their own conspiracy theories and exaggerated commentary. One influencer said, "Chrisean fleeing means she's guilty," even though Chrisean wasn't charged with anything. The internet swallowed the lie whole because panic spreads faster than truth. Ronnie kept fueling the fire with perfectly timed crumbs. He didn't drop massive receipts every time. Sometimes it was just a single sentence that ignited the entire timeline. "Y'all think I'm lying, but more is coming," he posted. And within minutes, threads exploded. People created countdowns. Others begged him to go live. Some even threatened to expose him if he didn't release the rest, which was hilarious because they had nothing to expose. The desperation was insane. Suddenly, random people who had never interacted with the family started claiming they had inside info. Fake cousins appeared out of nowhere. Fake neighbors claimed they heard screaming. Fake neighbors claimed they heard screaming. Fake babysitters left mysterious comments like "I knew she was dangerous." It was digital theater at its finest, a cast full of liars, clout chasers, and people who wanted their 15 seconds of attention. And the sad part? The audience believed them. Chrisean's silence made everything 10 times worse. The internet thrives on loud personalities, and Chrisean was usually the loudest. So when she vanished, fans panicked. Some claimed she fled the state. Others said she was hiding with family. A few insisted she was preparing a massive comeback rant, but nobody knew for sure. And her disappearance gave the internet full permission to project every possible scenario onto her life. Meanwhile, memes were out of control. One showed Chrisean running from a police siren edited onto a chicken. Another showed Karlissa dressed as a detective chasing her through an Instagram maze. Someone even made a fake trailer titled "Fugitive," the Chrisean rock story, using clips of her most dramatic outbursts. The memes weren't just funny, they were brutal. They mocked her pain, exaggerated the scandal, and painted her as a runaway villain in a movie nobody asked for. Blueface eventually decided to participate, but of course, in the most irresponsible way possible. Instead of clarifying anything, he posted a song snippet with the caption "Ain't no escaping truth." Fans screamed. Comment sections lit up. People assumed it was a response to Chrisean fleeing. But when they listened to the snippet, it had nothing to do with the situation. It was just Blueface being messy for free engagement. But the fans didn't care. They treated it as evidence anyway because chaos makes people delusional. Meanwhile, Ronnie kept the internet in a chokehold. He teased voice notes, hinted at videos, and implied he had all the proof in the world. Whether he actually did or not didn't matter. The internet was already frothing for more. His TikTok followers doubled overnight. His Instagram DMs exploded. People begged him to release everything like he was the FBI director holding the files for Area 51. Ronnie was living his best villain arc moment. And the world was eating it up. The scandal spilled into real life too. Paparazzi asked Blueface about it, and he dodged questions like he owed them money. Fans recognized Karlissa in public and asked if she'd really filed charges. Meanwhile, Chrisean's fans spammed her hairstylist, makeup artist, and friends demanding answers. It was messy, invasive, and borderline insane, but that's the price you pay when your life becomes trending entertainment. News outlets eventually picked up the story. Not mainstream ones, but the messy entertainment blogs that thrive off unverified chaos. They built entire narratives based on 3 screenshots and 2 assumptions. They wrote dramatic headlines like "Family torn apart" and "New witness comes forward even though no witness existed." They talked about it like it was a true crime case, not a social media meltdown celebrities reacted to. Some shaded Karlissa. Others sided with Chrisean. A few simply posted popcorn emojis because they knew the internet was cooking. Influencers used the scandal for content. Rappers threw subliminals. Even comedians made skits reenacting the drama. The storyline wasn't just online anymore. It became meme culture, influencer currency, and podcast fodder. Then came the most dramatic twist. a rumor that authorities were monitoring social media for clues. Nobody credible confirmed it. But once that rumor hit TikTok, it spiraled into madness. People acted like the FBI recruited them. They rewatched old lives hunting for evidence. They commented things like "I knew IT" as if their personal opinions carried legal weight. It turned into a digital witch hunt powered by anxiety, entertainment, and zero facts. And through all of this, the saddest part remained the same: Junior, an innocent baby trapped in the center of online chaos he never asked for. People argued about his health. They posted old clips of him breathing, blinking, moving, trying to diagnose him from their couches. It was heartbreaking, invasive, and deeply unsettling. But the internet doesn't pause for morality. By the end of week 1, the scandal was no longer a rumor. It was a monster. And that monster was just getting started. The fallout from the scandal didn't just hit the internet, it swallowed it whole. By the time part 3 of this disaster rolled in, the rumor had grown into a digital creature with fangs, claws, and its own fanbase. People no longer cared about what actually happened. They cared about the narrative they'd already built in their minds. And in that narrative, Chrisean wasn't just hiding. She was on the run, avoiding cops, avoiding cameras, avoiding accountability. The internet treated her silence like a dramatic escape scene from a crime thriller, even though nobody had proof she fled anywhere. Karlissa, meanwhile, had become the self-appointed matriarch of justice. She went from posting cryptic Bible quotes to dropping full paragraphs about protecting the innocent and exposing the truth. Fans didn't know if she was playing pastor, detective, or concerned grandmother, but her energy was intense. Every post she made was treated like scripture. People commented praying hands, fire emojis, and "thank you for speaking out," as if she had single-handedly saved Junior from a burning building. She was on a digital high, and she wasn't stepping off that pedestal anytime soon. Ronnie, the chaos ambassador of the entire situation, enjoyed his newfound relevance. His followers multiplied. His videos gained views he'd never seen before. Every story he posted became an event. And he used this momentum to drip-feed more evidence, dropping tiny bits of information like a villain in a soap opera. He posted voice notes with half a sentence, screenshots with half a message, and captions that hinted at more but gave nothing. He became the internet's favorite mystery box. Everyone wanted to open him up. Even though they knew trauma and disaster would spill out, the internet reached a point where people were creating entire timelines, theories, and video essays about what really happened. None of these were based on confirmed facts, but they were crafted with so much passion you'd think people were studying for final exams. Viewers paused lives, zoomed into screenshots, overanalyzed body language, and drew conclusions that had no scientific support. They said things like "you can see guilt in her eyes," or "Ronnie sounded too emotional to be lying," turning the scandal into a psychological analysis course taught by amateurs. As for Blueface, he contributed nothing but confusion. His silence was starting to look strategic. Instead of addressing anything, he posted unrelated thirst traps, random jokes, and clips of himself dancing terribly. Some fans believed he was trying to distract attention. Others thought he was mocking the gravity of the situation. A few claimed he was staying silent because he wanted the truth to come out on its own. But the majority agreed on one thing: Blueface staying quiet during chaos is like watching a firefighter refuse to touch water. Meanwhile, Chrisean's silence became the biggest storyline of all. People tracked her last online activity like investigators. They checked timestamps, follower counts, location tags, and liked posts. They noticed she turned off comments. They noticed she unfollowed certain pages. They noticed she didn't deny anything. And because the internet hates empty spaces, they filled those spaces with assumptions. They decided she fled the city, even though nobody could confirm it. They decided she was running from consequences, despite there being no official accusation. Logic evaporated. Drama took full control. Podcasts had a field day. Every episode became a deep dive into the scandal. They debated family dynamics, generational trauma, Blueface's parenting style, Ronnie's motive, and whether Karlissa's actions were sincere or strategic. They called it one of the biggest scandals in modern internet history, even though it was only a week old. They invited guests, experts, comedians, and random personalities to weigh in. And the audience listened like it was an audiobook of true crime, thrilling, addictive, and emotionally draining. Eventually, the rumor hit the mainstream news cycle. Not traditional news, but high-engagement gossip channels that treat celebrity chaos like world politics. These pages reported the scandal with dramatic thumbnails, exaggerated headlines, and misleading captions. They didn't fact-check. They didn't clarify. They didn't care. They wanted clicks. And clicks they got. Millions of them. The scandal became a feeding frenzy, with every platform trying to milk the chaos dry. Then came the turning point. A clip leaked allegedly showing Chrisean arriving at a family member's house in a hoodie, head down, avoiding cameras. Whether the clip was real or fake didn't matter. People used it as proof she was hiding from police. They captioned it, reposted it, over-edited it, and turned it into a narrative tool. It amplified the idea that she fled, even though the footage could have been from any day of her chaotic life. But because the internet thrives on dramatic visuals, the clip went viral instantly. Through all this, JR's name kept getting dragged deeper into the storm. People questioned his safety. They argued about custody. They posted his photos without consent. They analyzed his facial expressions in old videos like they were studying trauma responses. It was disturbing. A baby became a character in a plotline adults created for entertainment. And the saddest part, people forgot he was a real child with a real life outside the algorithm. Eventually, as the scandal reached peak saturation, the backlash shifted into a new phase: blame. People blamed Karlissa for escalating it. People blamed Karlissa for escalating it. They blamed Ronnie for leaking private information. They blamed Blueface for staying silent. They blamed Chrisean for disappearing. They blamed fans for spreading rumors. But nobody took responsibility. Everyone pointed fingers outward. And the narrative became a tornado of accusations with no end in sight. Chrisean finally reappeared online, not with a live, not with cares, not with explanations, but with a simple post, "I'm good." That two-word message did nothing. It answered nothing. It soothed nothing. If anything, it made the internet more suspicious. People said she was dodging questions. Others said she was trying to play innocent. Influencers accused her of ignoring reality. Her "I'm good" post became the new meme of the week, symbolizing denial, avoidance, and emotional numbness. By the end of the entire saga, something became painfully clear. This scandal wasn't about truth. It wasn't about justice. It wasn't about Junior or Karlissa or Ronnie. It was about attention. It was about chaos. It was about the internet's addiction to drama, even when real people suffer. And as the story faded, everyone knew one thing for sure: this wasn't the last explosion. It was merely the beginning of a deeper, darker storm. If you made it through this entire disaster without throwing your phone, congratulations, you officially have the emotional stamina of someone raised on Zeus Network marathons. You just witnessed Karlissa call the cops like she was filming a season finale. Ronnie pulling out nuclear-level receipts like a messy FBI agent. And Chrisean Rock vanishing faster than common sense during celebrity drama. This wasn't a scandal. This was a digital earthquake. And somehow you survived every aftershock. Now don't just disappear like Chrisean did. Smash that like button like Karlissa smashed the report option. Hit subscribe the way Ronnie hit screenshot during arguments. And ring that notification bell like it owes you rent. Because here on Scandal Spark, chaos drops faster than apologies in the Blueface household. You don't want to miss the next meltdown, leak, feud, drag session, or unhinged family explosion that sends the internet into a new dimension of dysfunction. Jump into the comments too. Tell me who you think was right, who was wrong, who lied, who panicked, who acted, and whose life is definitely getting a documentary one day. Your theories keep this entire scandal economy alive. And trust me, the wild ones always get the most replies. Don't be shy. This community thrives on chaos, conversation, and conspiracy-level energy. Because here on Scandal Spark, we don't just report the mess, we exaggerate it until it becomes legend. Stay tuned, because the next scandal is already brewing in someone's notes app. And when it bursts into flames, you know exactly where to come.